love it. Well, Benson, you're a man of many talents, a runner, a running coach, a mental health counselor, an instructor. When people ask you, what do you do? What do you tell them?
Enjoying life.
That's the most savage answer you could tell someone.
I always say, my goal is to really help other people. So most everything that I do in my area of professional life is really to invest in people, because I believe, that's my calling in life, and that's what I do. All I do.
I want to take this kind of back from the start, because you're up to so many cool things. You're here right now in Sioux Falls, but you're not originally from here, right?
I mean, my accent says I'm from Sioux Falls.
Yeah, that's what everyone in Sioux Falls sounds like.
Yeah, no.
I didn't want to say anything.
I mean, you guys are joking. I mean, I'm from around here. Anyway, no, I'm from Kenya, born and raised in Kenya.
Wow.
Grew up there and came to the United States in 2009.
Okay, so you're from Kenya, right? We've got actually a picture here of Kenya all the way over there in Africa.
Yeah.
I think we also have another picture here of that.
Yeah.
Holy cow. You ever see that?
Those are my pets.
That's a traffic jam in Kenya.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to be late.
There's a picture of him just doing a triangle. Eat time, elephant!
Yeah.
No, those are national treasures. So, yeah.
Wow. So when you're there in Kenya, what's the do you see just like animals like elephants and stuff just walking around?
So first thing is, if you actually flying to Kenya, part of the airport, you actually see the wildlife before you actually land by the airport.
Wow.
You see them everywhere, but in the city, no.
It's enough to see it if you're
Yeah.
from a plane.
Yeah,
flying
yeah.
it. Big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big enough.
Yeah.
What's the food like in Kenya? What's the cuisine over there?
Rice,
Right.
mostly, with chicken stew, beef stew, rice and beans. But the most stable food there is one called ugali. It is made of cornmeal.
Cornmeal action.
Yeah, so you just take cornmeal and water and just mix it, just like mashed potatoes until it's a little bit tougher. That's the bread, and then you dip it in like a sauce, for example, beef stew and stuff like that.
Tough mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Is that your
You're not
go-to?
doing the best job of
Is that your
advertising.
go-to before a run? You just
I had it last
Time to
night.
go.
I had it last night knowing I had a show tonight.
Yeah. He's just back there pounding it.
Yeah. So.
gets pumped.
Now, there's an interesting fact, Benson. Speaking of food, you have a favorite beverage.
Yes.
What's your jam?
What is this, by the way? Is it supposed to be for me to drink? Or what?
Yeah, for the
Okay.
first time ever, we put actual liquid in the cups.
Okay.
And they're not just for show tonight. Benson, I heard that you're a man that loves tea.
I love tea. I'll put it down here for you.
He's getting excited.
So I grew up, I think I was born and my parents were like, here's some tea. This is for you. It's caffeinated.
In the bottle.
Yeah. So,
No formula, nothing, none of that. It's that
He's good
tea.
with tea. He
Yeah.
loves it.
Where I grew up is we are one of the largest producers of tea in the world. And so we have tea plantations everywhere. And so for us, we can go to the factory and actually get some tea, given different grades that you want out of tea. So if you want the fine tea, then that's the end product. But for me, everybody that grow up from where I come from, you really drink tea all the time.
Well, take a pull of this, Benson. I want to know what you think of this tea that we found.
Jack Ford that. Okay.
It's okay. I'd say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm sorry, but this is I think at around 6. you need some lessons.
We're gonna hold back the curtain to the show.
You give a guy that comes from a country that produces the most tea in the world, or you give him,
I should have been a professional.
you give him
It's 99 cents, okay? For the budget.
We're doing good.
I think we can mix milk and honey.
It's just for what should it?
Yeah, that's the topping. Benson, what was it like when you first got to America from Kenya? I'm sure that's got to be quite the change up.
Culture shock. First thing you arrive, and I landed in
New York City, and I'm like, whoa, this is so many people, and not people of my color. And I was like, hey, where's everybody else?
They didn't have your accent.
They didn't have my accent, and It was very different. I mean, I went to Kansas first, and I came in the winter. It was in January. It was I was supposed to do track the season, which I ended up doing, but I landed. I'm like, I texted my my uncle. I'm like, I think I'm gonna go back, because it's like snow. I had not seen snow for the first time. So when you're landing in Wichita, you're seeing all the snow. You're like, what is that? It's like, oh, that is snow. Anyway, got there. Got accustomed to I'm someone who can adapt quickly to different things. It was tough making friends. I was like, in America, people actually are hiding in their houses, because in Africa, we're all over the place. And so coming in the winter, I'm like, there's no people around here. I see houses and no people.
Just
but
see people out chumming it up in the streets in the winter time.
But it was very different in that way. But then
Streaming services.
Yeah, you start making friends, which was amazing. I was a part of a track team, then they just kind of took me with, and became a really good experience. Right.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Was there anything when you got over here, like a difference between your expectation versus reality? Anything that kind of just like confused you a little bit? You're like, oh, this is different.
Yeah, for sure. Food.
Tea?
Food was very different. I went to Walmart, trying to buy some things that I knew based on brand names, and I'm like, I can't even find them. I'll tell you something funny though. I went to Walmart thinking I was buying lotion, but I was buying actually shampoo, and I ended up using shampoo too. So that was a lesson,
burns.
So.
I hate America.
And that's when I said again, I want to go back.
Yeah. No, it was very cool. I mean, it was a moment that, like things you learn along the way, but it was just the branding and different things like that. But, you learn and you move on to other things.
Benson, I heard a funny story once when you got to America that you had an experience with a certain type of door that you had never come across before.
I tell this joke all the time. I was trying to get, go through, with the elevator, right? I didn't know what to do. I didn't know there was a knob that you're supposed to press. So I see people coming back and forth. They're going down, they're going up. I didn't know what they were pressing, so it was my turn, so I knocked on the elevator. And so it's just, and it was not opening, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is very weird. So I kept knocking, and anyway, that's my joke, and it's just, I'll never forget
this thing.
Yeah, and then somebody was looking at me, and they're like, oh, we pressed this, and then it goes up. So, yeah.